Now let's rationalize 6I over negative 2 plus 4I. As a personal preference, I'm just going to put the 4I before, and we're going to multiply this by its conjugate, which will be 4I plus 2. That wasn't a very straight line, was it? But that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to just have to distribute the 6I. We multiply top, top, bottom, bottom, of course. So 6I times 4I would be 24I squared. And 6I times 2, 12I. All over, now we have 4I minus 2 times 4I plus 2. So we're just going to have to FOIL this and distribute the whole thing. So 4I times 4I is 16I squared. 4I times 2, 8I. Minus 2 times 4I, minus 8I. And minus 2 times 2, minus 4. Great. Now, remember, of course, that what is I? I is the square root of square root of negative 1. So I squared, of course, is just negative 1. So 24 times negative 1, we just replaced I squared for negative 1, plus 12I. And down over here we have 16 times negative 1. 8I minus 8I is 0. We still have the minus 4 over there. Great, so 24 times negative 1, negative 24, plus 12I, all over negative 16 minus 4, which is just negative 20. Great. Now, I want to factor out a negative 4 up top here. Negative 24 divided by negative 4 is positive 6. And 12I divided by negative 4, negative 3I. All over negative 20. So we can divide top and bottom by negative 4. So I'm going to get positive 1 and positive 5. So that's as far as we can go, really. 6 minus 3I all over 5. That's it. Let me actually make a nice little rectangular box to close the answer. There we go. Okay, number 8. Number 8. Let's get started. Oh yeah, as a personal preference, I will switch the 4i and the minus 5 again. So I'm going to have 4i minus 5 as opposed to negative 5 plus 4i. And I'll multiply this by 4i plus 5 times 4i plus 5. Because once we multiply this by its conjugate, we're just going to get rid of the i's on the bottom eventually. Fantastic. So now I can just distribute the 5i. So 5i times 4i is 20i squared. 5i times 5, 25i. All over 4i times 4i, 16i squared. 4i times 5, 20i. Negative 5 times 4i, negative 20i. By the way, I could skip the step of actually expanding these guys together, but I just want to take it step by step. But if you're writing an exam and you can see this easily, you would know that this whole thing, once you expand it, minus 5 times 5, minus 25, these guys would cancel out, and we're going to end up with 16i squared minus 25. Let's keep going now. So 20 times I squared is just 20 times negative 1. And we have 25i still. Down at the bottom we have 16i squared. So that's 16 times negative 1 minus 25. Great. 20 times negative 1, negative 20. Plus 25i. All over. 16 times negative 1, negative 16 minus 25. And finally that's just going to, we can leave it like 25i minus 20 all over negative 41. Well, but I guess we don't want to see a negative down at the bottom of the fraction there, so I'll multiply the top and the bottom by negative 1. So we're going to have negative 25I plus 20, negative 41 times negative 1, 41. You can be asking yourself why I switched these guys. The negative 20 I wrote over here, the 25I I chose to put it over here. I don't need to do that. That was just a personal preference because I wanted to put the positive first. Now I would have to switch them back again to make it 20 minus 25I all over 41. But obviously, this would be a good enough answer anyways. Just as good as positive 20 minus 25I over 41. So it's really up to you. Because of course they're equivalent. And we're done.